Good evening to one and all who are watching this particular class. I hope you're doing fine and your studies are going right on track. To make sure that you do not miss out on current affairs on a regular basis, I bring this class to you. And these classes will be helpful for not only prelims but also the mains examination. Do not worry about note making because I provide the notes through my Telegram channel, that is by the name of Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. If you have any queries regarding this examination, you can also talk to me through my Instagram and follow me on threads. These are the various events that we have to cover. Many of you have answered the first question, which was asked as a practice question correctly, so I will take your names by the end of this class. So the Chennakeshava temple is one of the three temples. There are three temples that have been inscribed on the UNESCO's World Heritage List as the 42nd World Heritage Site in India, 41st being the Shantiniketan. Where are these temples located in? These were the given options. Option D is the correct one over here. The Hoysala ensembles have been inscribed as the 42nd UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Chennakeshava temple is the main temple in the complex, which is situated in Belur in the Hassan district. The kind of model that the Hoysalas used was highly influenced from Western Chalukyas, and they used to build the temples on a raised platform. Specifically, we can call it a stellate type temple. That means from the bird's eye view or the eagle's eye view, if you look at these temples, it will look something like this. All right. So this was the model. As you can see, it's on a raised platform. The kind of material that they used was soapstone, so that more intricate carvings and more clear carvings could be seen. And this has given them this particular status that now they are a part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is located at the center of the traditional settlement, which is surrounded by the remnants of a mud fort and a moat as well. The others include the Hoysaleshwara temple, this is at the banks of the Dwara Samudra tank in Helibidu. And then we have the Kesava temple at the center of the Somnathpura village, that is in Mysore district. So these two statements have been given. We have to see which one explains which one, or if one is correct and one is incorrect. Lok Sabha and Assembly constituencies have to be allotted to every state in a manner that the ratio of the number of constituencies and the population of the state is broadly similar. The boundaries of the Lok Sabha and the Assembly constituency must be redrawn to ensure equitable representation. To choose the correct answer using the codes. See, according to the 82nd, Article 82nd or 82 of the Indian Constitution, it is mandated that proper delimitation should take place before the elections whenever it is necessary according to the census. So, the current bill which has been taken up by Rajya Sabha to reserve certain seats for women will be applicable only after delimitation takes place, specifically in accordance with the actual 2021 census. And that is going to take place at a later stage, not for 2024 election. It will happen so by 2029 for the 2029 elections. So this is what we are trying to tell you here with the help of this question. So yes, Lok Sabha and Assembly constituencies have to be allotted to every state in a manner that the ratio of population, the number of constituencies and the population is in the state is broadly similar. So that per person, the candidate and the population they are representing is almost the same in all the states. Like supposedly there are 3 constituencies. It couldn't be like there will be one candidate per 10,000 people and one candidate per supposedly 2 lakh people. It shouldn't be so. So in order to ensure that every candidate has equitable representation, different constituencies are made. Alright. So that the population and the constituencies are broadly similar. So statement 1 is correct. The boundary of the Lok Sabha and the Assembly constituencies must be redrawn to do what? So that every constituency has equitable representation. Okay. So both the statements are correct. And statement 1 is the correct explanation of statement 2. Okay, statement 1 is the correct explanation of statement 2. Let's move on. I have already told you about this matter. So let's talk about what does this bill, applicability of this particular act depend upon. First is delimitation, second is census. Actually, on the basis of census, when the 2021 census will actually be conducted, The population, if it has increased or decreased, will be found out. Accordingly, constituencies will be delimited. And the 2021 census is very important over here. The boundaries of the Lok Sabha and the Assembly constituencies must be redrawn to ensure equitable representation so that the vote of every person carries similar weight and every pocket of population has proper representation in the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies. It is allotted to every state in a manner that the ratio of the number of constituencies and that of the population of the state is broadly similar. It also aims at fair division of geographical areas so that there is no gerrymandering. What is that? If I divide the different constituencies in a different manner, sometimes on the basis of the number of people, on the basis of the population, any candidate can have a better advantage. And that is gerrymandering. So that gerrymandering doesn't happen, any representative doesn't or any candidate doesn't get an undue advantage. That also has to be seen. Alright, Article 22 talks about readjustment after each census. After each census, we have to readjust. So readjustment of the seats are important. This is a constitutional mandate. And that is why it is yet to be seen what will be the course of time over here. Now, let's look at the next question. With respect to the Constitution Amendment Bill, under Article 368 Clause 2, we have to consider these statements. These bills can be, keywords here, can be introduced in either house of the parliament. That means either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Constitution Amendment bills have to be passed in each house of parliament by a special majority. That means membership of the house, majority of the total membership, and means we have to add in that 2/3 of the majority of the 2/3 of the members present and voting. Present and voting. Okay, this is a special majority. Then, and that has to be exercised in both the houses, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. In case of any disagreement between the two houses of the parliament, there cannot be a joint sitting of the houses of the parliament on the bill. So, how many statements given above is or are not correct? If your concepts are clear with respect to the Constitution Amendment Bill, you can easily answer this question. Second and third are conceptually related. First is something that also is conceptual as well as factual. Yes, the Constitution Amendment Bill can be introduced either in the Rajya Sabha or in the Lok Sabha. So first is correct. These bills have to be passed in each house by a special majority. This is also correct. And because that these bills have to be passed by a special majority in both the houses respectively, we cannot have a joint sitting because of that very reason. That because special majority is needed, if there is a deadlock when it comes to a CAB, Constitution Amendment Bill, one cannot have a joint seating. Okay, so first is correct, second is correct, third is also correct, none will be the correct answer. Bills that seek to amend the constitution, change the constitution in some manner, are of three categories. First, which are passed by simple majority. Then bills that have to be passed by the parliament by special majority prescribed under Article 368 Clause 2 of the Constitution. And bills that have to be passed by the parliament by the special majority as aforesaid here, and also be ratified by not less than half of the legislature. So, now we talk about the bills that seek to amend all the provisions of the Constitution, including those enumerated in the provision 368 Clause 2. That means even under 368, this particular clause can also be amended. Okay, these are known as the Constitution Amendment Bills. Can be introduced in either house of the parliament. If they are introduced by a private member, who is a private member? Somebody who is not a part of the cabinet or the council of ministers, they can be private member. The bill has to be examined in the first instance and recommended for introduction by the committee on private members' bill and resolutions before it can be included to be presented in the list of business. Then we talk about another part, that the Constitution Amendment Bills have to be passed in each house of the parliament by a special majority, by a majority of the total membership of the house, and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members present and voting. Here I told you that only by a majority of total membership plus by a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members present and voting. Alright, let's move forward to the other one. Now, let's talk about the concept of joint sitting. There is no concept of joint sitting if there is a deadlock between both the houses of the parliament on a CAB. Okay, consider these countries: UK, New Zealand, USA, Japan. So, we have to see how many of the countries given above is or are a part of the Five Eyes Alliance. This alliance has been in the news because of the Niger murder conspiracy that India has been, involved in this conspiracy. Canada has alleged that it is deeply concerning, as said by the USA, and USA has also said that India is expected to cooperate with us in the entire process. India has also suspended visa for Canadian citizens for some time for operational reasons. Now we can just gauge from the fact of all this being done, that India and Canada are at the lowest of their relationship. We do not even know now what kind of economic relationship or people to people contact we could have with this country anymore. So UK, New Zealand, USA and Japan. See, in 1946, it was agreed upon by certain Anglophone countries. Anglophone countries means those countries which speak English, that they should share intelligence. Very little or very less is known about the Five Eyes Alliance. Do you know there is also Nine Eyes Alliance, 14 Eyes Alliance? This is on the basis of intelligence sharing between the intelligence agencies of these many countries. So Five Eyes consists of UK, USA, New Zealand, Australia and Canada, but not Japan. So four, apart from Japan, all the three are there. Three only will be the correct answer. I have already told you that it was created in the year 1946. This particular treaty, which created the Five Eyes Alliance, started as United Kingdom United States Communication Intelligence Act Agreement. Okay, this particular group conducts interception, collection, acquisition, analysis and decryption activities. That means whatever evidence Canada may have provided to the Five Eyes, to this particular agency, now that will be encrypted, decrypted, whatever has to be done to collect information about the Niger murder case and sharing all intelligence information obtained by others. Okay, Nine Eyes, we have Five Eyes plus addition of Denmark, France, Netherlands and Norway. Now UPSC can talk about Nine Eyes as well, so you have to remember that. 14 Eyes means 9 eyes with the addition of Germany, Belgium, Italy, Spain and Sweden. Then we have 41 Eyes. 41 Eyes means everybody plus the allied coalition of Afghanistan. Moving on. Which of the following countries are involved in the dispute of Nagorno Karabakh? Armenia and Russia, Azerbaijan and Armenia, Azerbaijan and Russia, Armenia and Iraq. The correct answer to this question is Armenia and Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan's president has declared that the country's, Azerbaijan's sovereignty over Nagorno Karabakh has been restored. This is a very disputed area. This is a very tumultuous area, Nagorno Karabakh, with its capital at Khankendi or Stepanakert. Okay, and it is internationally recognized to be a part of Azerbaijan, but much of its governance is recognized as by the unrecognized Nagorno Karabakh Republic is as the Republic of Artsakh. In 1988, when Soviet Union was declining, there was fighting between Azerbaijani troops and Armenian secessionist troops because they did not want to be a part of Azerbaijan. Armenia is basically dominated by Christians and Azerbaijan by Muslims. So this is the problem between the two. And there was a truce that was signed in 1994. Russian peacekeepers have been deployed since 2020, which was a ceasefire during the ceasefire that was brokered by Moscow between these two countries. And a proper corridor by the name of Lachin Corridor, a safe passage was given from Azerbaijan through this area to other region of Azerbaijan, which is the Nakhchivan region. Okay, so this particular corridor can also be asked in your map-based question for prelims. Remember that. Moving on, Armenia itself has never officially recognized that this region, Nagorno Karabakh, is independent, but it continues to support the secessionist forces. Moving on to the next portion, next question. With respect to the Bima Sugam portal, consider the following statements. The buyers will be able to purchase life, motor, health policies directly. It will be launched in 2024. So which of the statements given above is or are correct? Bima Sugam portal is going to be a game changer, just like UPI, because it will provide direct access to buyers. It will also consist of other aggregators and policy you can say mediators, but buyers can do that directly as well. So buyers will be able to purchase life, motor and health policies all from one place. So it's a one-stop solution, we can call it. Earlier there was a deadline that it should have been launched in January 2023 or August 2023, but now the set month and year is June 2024. So first and second both are correct. Both 1 and 2 is the correct answer. The Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority has formed a steering committee to talk about the Bima Sugam online portal. It will be a one-stop solution for people's insurance-related issues and needs such as policies, portability facilities, change of agents, settling of claims and more. Buyers will be able to purchase life, health, motor policies directly. Also, web aggregators, brokers, probe insurance brokers, banks, insurance agents will also be a part of this. Insurance companies, both general and life insurance, they will be the major stakeholders. Okay, so it's not like the employment opportunity of others have been ignored. E-insurance account will be opened with the help of these insurance companies only. This will act as a centralized database. The government will be able to keep a tab upon what kind of insurance policies are getting a lot of heft, which insurance policies are being ignored. So a database will also be created. It will assist the insured and the buyers in porting their respective policies based on coverage and pricing. It will give people a wide range of choice, of course. It will reduce commission paid to the intermediaries. Of course, the eventually who will be benefiting from it? The consumers. New launch date has now been set for June 2024. The INS Nireekshak, seen in the news, is a or an guided missile corvette, offshore patrol vessel, aircraft carrier, diving support vessel. It is option D, diving support vessel. Indian naval ship Nireekshak successfully conducted vital mixed gas diving training session, which was under INSLN Divex 23, and now it has now been to ashore Sri Lanka. INS Nireekshak is a 70.5-meter long diving support vessel which is manned by a crew of 137 people. It was built by Mazgaon shipbuilders in 1985 and it has been in the Navy since 1989 and was commissioned in the year 1995. The deepest dive it has carried is 257 meters. Okay, remember that. Now, I have a question for you to practice. Consider the following. Manpuri Conspiracy of 1980, Kakori Train Action of 1925, Foundation of Hindustan Republic Association, which of the freedom fighters is associated with all of the three above? Surya Sen, Bhagat Singh, Ram Prasad Bismil, Lala Lajpat Rai. Answer it correctly. Let me take the names of those students who have answered the last question correctly so that you can answer this one as well. Bulbul, Simran, Kanika, Kushal, Riya, thank you so much. Manish, Vignesh, Abhishek, Shiraz, Swati, Mansi, Ayush, Nikhil, Mallinath, Siddharth, Vivek, Shalvi, Komal, Parkha, Mukul, User, PJ2VE, 2BR6. Please write your names. Anjani, Ritu, Arun Yadav, Priyadarshan, Vinamr, Anfas, Utkal, Nityanand, Pragati, Nirja, my mobile phone. Please write your name, my mobile phone. You keep on commenting and that's a really good thing. Just write your name so that I can acknowledge you properly. Vaibhav, thank you so much for answering the last question. Answer this question as well. Stay updated.